Good morning, and the 9 days, right? It's Rosh Chodesh Menachem Av today. The 9 days. Yes, I'm wearing yesterday's shirt. I think you got to take these things seriously a bit, but you got to find your comfort zone. Good morning. So, I thought about what it means, the concept of a mikdash built of flames. We'll give thanks to his name and march to the Gola with the Rebbe Shlita, right? Mikdash built of flames. Where's the source for that? I found it. So I'm happy. I want to share it with you. Good morning. Shalom. Cuidado amigo also. Sounds right? Oh. So, it's Shabbos Chazain coming up. Not this Shabbos, but next Shabbos. So I have to write about it now. So we're showing it, but it's relevant. The whole time has to do with it. It says that the Beis HaMikdash, we're shown a vision, rather, of the Beis HaMikdash, okay? The Berditcheber Rebbe taught this. That on Shabbos Chazain, which is next Shabbos, I believe, then you are shown a vision of the Beis HaMikdash. So there's a whole question. Do you see it? Is it your soul? Mazlayu Chazi? Was it your muzzle that saw it? Part of your soul? Or did you see it? Good morning. What saw it? And he gives a whole allegory about you give a gift to your child and he tears it up. You know, he doesn't treat it properly. He's inappropriate with it. And it gets ruined. He gives you one Beis HaMikdash. He gives you like a garment, a beautiful garment for the prince to wear. But he desecrates it. Or he sullies it in such a way that it's like the Beis HaMikdash being destroyed. Does it again. Same thing happened. For the third Beis HaMikdash, God just, on this special time of the year, we have to be thinking about the Beis HaMikdash, the holy temple in Yerushalayim and Jerusalem. And we have to be building it through learning about it. Right? But especially on Shabbos Chazain, when the Berditcheber Rebbe's story comes into play, when we're shown this vision, that's to inspire us. So the king shows the prince the garment once a year on that day, because it's connected with the Torah. We read that Parshan, okay? And Chazain, Yeshayahu, I think. So he's like, teases us with it. Says, you behave, you'll get this. You build the Beis HaMikdash in your times, you'll get this. So, the idea there is to inspire the child. So the question is, the Rebbe always asks, what's the point of showing it if it's only going to disappear? It's only temporary. I think the answer there is so that it inspires us to transform ourselves, that we the fire that destroyed can now be the fire that rebuilds through our doing tshuva and bringing Mashiach. So an inspiration to do it. So that's how you carry it with you. My question's based on the Caravel Tzich of the Rebbe, Tafshemen Dalet, Yud Beis Tammuz, 1984. So the Rebbe said there, he quotes the Rogatchover Goen, who's quoting the Gemara Yerushalmi. It says, if a generation that doesn't witness the building of the Beis HaMikdash in its time is as if they destroyed it. So the Rebbe interprets that to mean every day you have the obligation to stop people from destroying the Beis HaMikdash, not other people. Stopping yourself. We don't impose our views on other people. Some people are so inappropriate with that. It's scary. People are very controlling. So you have to have a wall of fire around you. We'll see what that means. That's what Beis HaMikdash build of flames is talking about, this wall of fire around the Beis HaMikdash. What purpose does that serve? It's fascinating. So my question is, why take it one step further? Not just showing the vision. What's the purpose of just a vision that's temporary? What's the purpose of that vision if not only is the vision going away, but the Beis HaMikdash itself, the physical Beis HaMikdash, is being destroyed today. If we don't merit today Kervaltite, if you don't have the urgency, the passion that grabs people, the Rebbe said about the Baal Shem Tov taking on his disciple, the Mezrich Maggid, was based on taking him. His words were not true until they were said with the passion of truth. That's what was lacking. What am I lacking, Rebbe? What am I lacking? You're lacking nothing. You have all the kishrainis, all the qualities. You have everything. You're just lacking bittul. Take matzah in. Be the impoverished. Get rid of the pride. Do it for God's sake. Good morning. Do it for God's sake. Not for your own pride. And that, of course, becomes the whole energy for someone to ascend leadership, because it says the opposite. You always learn the opposite from the opposite. It says those who are doing it for their own glory will not succeed. That's the litmus test. Okay, I'm reviewing some ideas. Now I want to dive into the chimas eish saviv. Zechariah says 2:9. It says Vani ekyala ne'um Hashem chimas eish saviv. And I myself, declares the Lord, will be a wall of fire all around it. And I will be a glory inside it. Rashi says, Lamagen. He quotes the words, Va'aniyah, I'm going to be to it. The first words, okay? Those words mean lamagen, to guard. So the question is, a wise person asked me, or told me rather, in the times of Beis HaMikdash Shlishi, in the third Beis HaMikdash when Mashiach's here, what do you need protection from? So that has to be answered, okay? I've learned some of these sources. We'll see if the answer emerges. Some of them I haven't learned yet properly, or maybe even at all. We'll see. Okay, we don't need these because I gotta read. Or I could use my papers. I printed them up. That's so pleasant. Okay. So Rashi says in the words Aniyah La, and I myself declares the Lord, will be to it, to the Beis HaMikdash, like a wall. Rashi doesn't quote those words, but then he says lamagen, to guard it. Ki'ilu chaimas eish saviv la, and he adds the words, continuing the verse, as if, he says it's a metaphor. We're not going to need fire, but I'm going to protect you. Why would you not need fire then? Why would you be lacking it? Why is it just a metaphor? Ki'ilu chaimas eish saviv la, v'gam b'seicha tishkan shchina silech veidechem. And also within it, I am going to reside my divine presence for your honor. It's always about the other. It's always. Sometimes you reach the other through being yourself. The two things are interconnected. That's the yin yang there. But Rashi's very specific to say ki'ilu. It's a metaphor. You don't need fire. But then why fire? Obviously it has some meaning. We'll have to see why Rashi says it's a spiritual thing. But let's look at the Malbim, who always resonates with me. Maybe that will shed light on this. He says, what are you going to be afraid of, that you need a protection of fiery wall? As Rashi says, lamagen. He also says, as like a wall, because people are going to be afraid to approach you. And he explains what it means surrounding it, because Rashi's pointing out to you that he's also going to be within, which is the continuation of the verse. It says, and for your honor, I'm going to be within it, my Shekhinah. So he also says it's going to be, you'll see, it's significant that it's not just surrounding, to suggest that it's not inside. The fire inside, the Shekhinah, we'll see, it's really awesome. It's beautiful, and hang in there. Okay, this is the Malbim now, but it really seems to resonate with Rashi so far. Like a wall. They're going to be afraid to approach you because flame consumes flame. The Alter Rebbe teaches in Likud Torah and Torah, I believe also, that what that means is that the holy fire that comes down on the holy altar, which means your Avodas Hashem in your heart. The altar represents the heart. It was 32 amas, the ramp, and I think the width also. 32 is the number for the lave. It's all identified with the heart. It doesn't say that directly here, but I think that's clear from other places. But here we're talking about Eishek La'esh. There's a divine fire that comes down from above that consumes the fire that is inappropriate. It makes that the driving force in your life, whatever it is that compels you to be a behema, your nefesh bahamis, whatever compels you to do things for yourself, whatever that may be, maybe to eat food like a cow. Could be. Maybe it's other types of taivas, especially identified with fire. So how are you going to transform that? This fire that comes down from above, you have to elicit that by being the best you can be and just bring God into the world because God wants to be with you. Because we say, and that's what has to do with the pride at all. It's all related. The air, the light is the fire. It's all related, okay? I'd love to be able to have so much time to develop these ideas. I know it gets a bit overwhelming when I'm citing so many different ideas at once, but I'm hoping people are staying with me and I could build on this. And then we'll be able to just say a word and you'll know it's a whole idea. Like smexy is an idea now. You know what I mean by it. It's easy to just imagine some smurfy, attractive, I don't know, has all those connotations. Let's look into this Malbim. It's awesome. Eish Eikla Eish. I believe that's a pasuk in Tehillim. Fire consumes fire. It means the godly fire eats up the things that drive you, your fire. So that could be, that's why it might be a metaphor here. We're not talking the Gentiles that are going to be around at that time are going to be peaceful, right? There's going to be beasts, but they're going to be declawed and friendly. There's going to be also Gentiles who are going to be friendly and want to be part of this awesome, beautiful relationship between God and the Jewish people in the world. So it has to be a metaphor because the Goyim are not going to attack us. So it's an internal Aveda. The Aveda is to recognize that part of you that is an enemy, that threatening aspect, the Gentile within you, the thing that's seemingly foreign that has to be dealt with. And it could be turned around. You can make that Gentile into someone that works with you and has the same vision of the world. That's Eishek La'esh. That's when the enemy is no longer an enemy. It becomes a fire burning for God. That's the Mikdash of flames that exists within every person. And we're going to see that idea comes in again. Okay, I won't get too ahead of myself. In the macrocosmic sphere, when we're talking about the whole universe, whatever is greater than the other on the totem pole of life is said to surround it. That's why you have to understand what the image of surrounding means here. It doesn't mean that it's outside. You can't think that. It's the core. It's the yin-yang at the core. That's everywhere and at the essence of the center, even though it's said to surround, as we'll see. So in the world, when we talk about greatness, we mean he surrounds the other. He includes it. If you're a great mind, you include the other person's mind within yours. That's what it teaches in Chassidus, specifically the teachings of the Mittler Rebbe. I've seen a lot of this. And he protects him. If you have someone within you, there's someone that you care about, especially a child who obviously stems from you, and you encompass him, you embrace him, you protect that person through this idea. until the finite world, this matrix we live in that we spoke about yesterday, this game, this drama that God creates, the artist, the code master, the hacker, the master hacker of the universe, the matrix creator himself, the one who makes this drama, this romance with his beloved, this game that God creates. How does it manifest in that world? Shehu ha'adam, this is talking about the person. Kol ha'chashav yeser hu sheichem l'seich v'halev hu mukaf mekol hevarim. Where do we see that in a person? It's not in their arm here. The arm is an extension, it's an expression of the heart. That's where it comes from. That's what surrounds the whole body, is the heart, because it's greater than every aspect of the body, includes everything within it. And it protects everything. We'll see how. The heart protects. That's caring, that's love. It says in Yechezkel, my sanctuary will be upon you, being that the Mikdash, the sanctuary, is within you. The heart, the surrounding, is upon you, it's surrounding you, being that it's within you. It's the yin yang here in a pasuk in Yechezkel. Beautiful. She'ikar HaMikdash yeh alehem, that the main aspect of the main expression of the Mishkan is going to be upon you, makif aisam kamay ba'olam hagadol, surrounding you like in the macrocosm, like in the universal respect. Hem yu hamerkava l'shchina. The Jewish people will be the chariot to God. What's the purpose of the fact that the Mikdash will be within the person? Is only in order that the Gentiles would know. What does that mean? The Gentiles will know that I am God. Mekadesh es Yisrael, who sanctifies the Jewish people. And I like to say, the Chassidus always teaches that that's also Kedushin. God betroths us and marries us. The Shidduch is for the sake of the Zivug. This is the betrothal identified here. The Goyim will know that it was destiny that brought this Shidduch about between God and the Jewish people. And that's for the, I've said this before, here's my source. My Aunt Jackie, okay, she told me it's very belittling to say that the purpose of the Gentiles that will be around in the times of the future redemption is that they will participate and enjoy and celebrate and be the spectator for the wedding of Kuchabrichel Shchinte, the Jewish people and God. And it's not a lowly thing to be witness to such a wedding. I had an example, but it eluded me. But let's just go back into this, okay? Because this is my source for this moment. He sanctifies us. He betrothed us. He makes us known to the Goyim. The Goyim will know Hashem through this. Remember, we learned about Shlem HaMelech that allows the tefillahs of the Gentiles to reach God through the tzaddik, through the Jewish people. Here, the same thing. They will know God through us. V'yedu Goyim ki ani havaya. Hashem, and through the fact that God sanctifies us, He betrothed us, He weds us. And this is the verse we quoted here. For your glory I will be within it. It's only for the sake of showing God's love for us, by increasing our glory in the world. This is our Torah. This is what we believe. Because really, the surrounding, the Eishes Chayil Teres Baila, the surrounding, the crown, the greatest surrounding, all-encompassing light is the inner light. There's the yin-yang here. It's at the very core of the one extreme, is the essence of the other. It's the seed of the other at the greatest expression of the other. There's two others. Ki b'emes er maki gadol ma'er hapnimi, rak she'er hapnimi nikar yiser. It's just that it's more recognizable from the or hapnimi. What's transcendent is difficult to see. The aspect of the king that you see is really the feminine aspect. It's the Eishes Chayil Teres Baila. It's the crown that you behold when you see the king. The body is the aspect. That's really strange, because we say that we call Kvuda Bas Melech Pnima. The honor of the daughter of the king, the princess, is within. That's where it's more recognizable, because you see what the beloved loves. If the king loves the matronissa, the Shechina, and gives everything for her, that is the crown. You are my crown, you tell somebody. That type of love, then that person embodies the crown itself. And you could see that the Pnimi, the core, it's more recognizable. The core is the other. The core is the king's beloved. It's the other. It's the deity. It's the Shechina. And to witness that is the greatest schos. So I don't know why that's considered something not very appealing. I think that's a great... No one wants to feel like they're outside. But for some reason, God thought it was important to show this to the Gentile nations. It's very fascinating. Obviously, there's some meaning to that. That's their mission. Quotes in another place, okay? I have the Siddur Nusach, Eidos HaMizrach, and I think this is actually commentary on it. It tells about what you say in Tisha B'Av. Nachem Hashem Elokeinu V'Savei L'Tzion. You actually say those words, I think, in the Shemona Esrei also. Yerushalayim, the morning of Yerushalayim, the desolate city, and the Bazuya, the desecrated and disgraced city, V'Shamema, and demolished. They believe in now Yishavas. Okay, it goes on. It's pretty sad. Then it goes on to say, Libi al Chaleim, my heart. Okay, Yata Hashem ba'esh heitzasa. God, you devoured the holy temple with fire. Now remember, he did that to take the anger out on bricks and mortar, as opposed to on his beloved. That's why he made such a dramatic scene of the destruction of the holy temple as a symbol of his love for the Jewish people. That if there's going to be destruction, the main aspect is going to be diffused upon a physical building, God's precious gems. But with fire, you're in the future going to use to build it. Quotes the verse that he started with. Okay, those are the words that I wanted to talk about. Those are the sources I wanted to talk about. I had other things I was going to link in, but it's overwhelming and too much. And it's a busy day today. But I want to talk about what that fire could mean. I said a few things. What it means, Eish Eichla Eish, finding what's your negative fire and burn that up with holy fire. I talked about that. But I think the main thing is, because this is what I'm into right now, is this teaching of the Baal Shem Tov, and the Rebbe brought it, about your delivery. How you make disciples is through delivery. That's the avodah of bringing the tzaddikim to do tshuva. And Amakulim tzaddikim, we're all becoming tzaddikim now. Be a part of that, because I'm telling you it's happening now. You don't know what it means, you think it's arrogant, I don't care. It's happening now. I think any rabbi who contradicts this is holding back the Geula. And I don't mean that to say that anyone's bad. I'm just saying it's the wrong mentality to have now. It is unfolding. You don't believe me? Interview me and find out why I think that, and I'll tell you whatever I have to tell you that's truthful and genuine, to convince you that it's happening now. I think the immediacy and urgency is also a fire here that the Rebbe wants to tell you about. Kerevel Taint is a fire. That's what builds the Beis HaMikdash in our times. The whole idea why God could show us a vision of the Beis HaMikdash and not only have the vision go away, but also the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash today happen, is in order for us to sense the urgency of it in Kerevel Taint. That's the fire that we have to latch onto at these final moments, at the threshold of redemption, where we're going to see those walls of fire that Hashem's within us, not just surrounding. He's our protection because he's at our very core. That's the ultimate truth. I know that's so mystical and philosophical and transcendent and otherworldly, and you don't understand it, but there is one thing. World means one thing. The whole world is one thing. You and God. That's it. Einam Novade. There's just God. Because you are an expression of God that has to come back to itself through this game of the world. God created the game of disunity, or of the ability to be the ecstasy of yearning. There's the yearning, the distance that creates the fire, but the ecstasy of yearning is once you make that motion, that's the passion that takes you in, that's compelling you, that inspires you, that makes disciples. The disciple within you, when the Gentile within you becomes your best friend and your protector. They will protect. In what sense will they protect the Jewish people? They did around the bears were around the ark. The bears and lions surrounded the ark. Inside the ark of Noah. They had the bears and the lions protected. Everyone said, you try and build that and go away with it. You go with your ideas, I'm going to break it up. I'm going to take an axe and smash down your ark, and you're not surviving the flood either. So don't bother wasting 120 years of your life building it. Do you live your whole life building an ark that just never floats? Is that you? And you're so terrified you're not going to even build it because you know that there's bad guys out there with axes ready to chop it down? You have bears and lions protecting it. It's having self-sacrifice. They'll die for it. Now, how does that resonate here? That it says that there was Olam Haba within in Noach's Teva, in his ark, Noah's ark. They had Gan Eden in there. They lived in the world to come. So there must have been a set-off point prior to that when they needed protection. And then, like the 2 stages of Mashiach, maybe, you have a point where your protection is seeming through nature. Like a miracle through nature. You have the bear represents the fat, the most real part of a person. A lion is I don't know what it's a lion, the roar, the guts, to stand up to the world. The fire is the fire. So both aspects, the transformation of the fat, of the bear, and then the fiery lion. You have that in the first stage of redemption leading up to it, okay, before they get into the ark. That's when you have to stand up and take the bear and the lion within you. Lasid Lavai, you're going to burn up all the negativity in the world. It's the okay? The Aleph Vav Reish. Pronounce that or ur, in your dialect. Light and fire. Fire to burn up the negativity, and the light that's shed there now. It's 2 things. The fire is what will reach the other. You won't have to eviscerate him. You burn up his opposition by shedding light on him and warmth and fire. That's the message of the Rebbe. That's the transformation of the Beis HaMikdash. And I wish we all do it. And we should, by learning about this, it should happen. That's what the Rebbe says. What do we say? Shalom, Param Svaseinu, something like that. When we learn about the mitzvah of offering a burnt sacrifice, an oilah, it will be as if we've done it. Now, through that Aveda, that is going to listen to God to actually do it. Okay, that's what the Rebbe is teaching us. Have a great day, a great Shabbos, and a great building of the Beis HaMikdash. We should all see each other together there today, now.